Hello, my name is Yuval Dorfman, and this is a 3D modeling tutorial. Today we will learn how to model a room that includes walls, ceiling, floor, and the openings for the windows. And we will place a camera inside this room. Let's begin. I will load AutoCAD 2011 in my case, but it doesn't matter which version it is. I will load the plan I got from the client. Then I will clean the plan up, because we don't need all the excess lines and the rooms and everything. This is the only room we need. This is the parent suite. So everything else is expendable and we can delete it. So we'll delete the upper levels plan. We'll delete every room which is not the room that we need, and even the dimensions, because we're not using the dimensions to build the 3D model in this case. Using the trim function to delete everything beneath the polyline I just built, but that's a whole different tutorial. Now I'll delete everything beneath the line, all the dimensions, all the rooms we don't need. I want to stay with a very clean and understandable plan, so I don't get lost in all the lines. It's by no means a necessary step, but it makes your life much easier when you build the space. Okay, now we have a clean room. We'll save it. I'll call it plan cleaned. And now we can go to 3D Studio Max. I'm using the 2013 version, but you can use any version you want. I'm gonna import, using the import function, the plan I just created in AutoCAD. First I'm gonna see the units are in centimeters, because I'm using centimeters. If you're in the United States, you can use inches or feet. In our case, it's centimeters. Now I'll import the AutoCAD file, the plan cleaned. Just choose OK. I'll go ahead and select everything I just imported, which are basically lines from AutoCAD. I'm gonna go to the top view and I'm gonna see the plan. Now I can't group it because I have lines that are hidden, so I'll unhide everything, and now I'll choose everything again, and now I can group the plan. Now the plan has a thickness. It has a y-axis because some lines are beneath other lines. We need to make the plan without a thickness, like a real plan. As you can see in perspective view, it's very tall. See? So now I need to shrink it down on the y-axis to 0, so the plan could be flat, as it's supposed to be. Just shrinking it. That's it. Now the plan is flat, and I can start drawing the lines on it. To build the walls and everything else, In fact, I use lines and the snap toggle tool to snap on the points of the corners or of the windows and everything else. Now I need to check the vertex option so that I can snap on vertices, but I really don't need the edge segment, only the vertices. Now I'm going to snap and draw a line across our interior walls only. I'm going to put a point in every connection we have. If it's a door or window, every connection between a wall and an object like doors or windows, I'm going to put a point. You'll see later why. Dot, and I'm gonna close the spline, which is our line. Close spline. Now I'm gonna fix some errors, like this wall that is not straight because we didn't have a point to snap to, so we just need to correct it. It's corrected. I'm gonna go to perspective view, and now we can turn our closed spline into an editable poly. Right click, convert to editable poly. Now we have our floor. To create walls from this floor, first of all I'm gonna shrink it to the Z axis. Now I'm gonna choose the borders, shift and drag it up to create the walls. Now I'm dragging it up 3 times. The first time is to create a line for our lower point of the window, the second time for highest point of the window and the point where the door ends, and the third one is our ceiling. Now I'm going to create boxes in order to use them as reference boxes to match the lines to. The first box will be at length 100 centimeters, which is the height of the box, which represents the beginning of the windows. 210 centimeters represents the end of the windows and the end of the doors, and 280 centimeters represents the ceiling. Now I'm going to take the points or the lines I created and match them up with the boxes. 100 centimeters is the beginning of the window, 210 is the end of the window and end of the doors, and 280 is the ceiling. Now we need to delete the boxes because they were only to measure the height. They have no purpose in the rendering. Now we have floors and walls at the right height. Now I'm going to create openings for the windows. I'm going to give it a texture so I can see it better. I'm going to choose all the polygons representing the doors. And I'm going to extrude them. The extrusion number is going to be the thickness of the walls the doors are inside. So minus 20, no, 10. Minus 10. That's about right. I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to delete the polygons, creating openings. I'm going to do the same thing for the balcony opening and the windows. The balcony wall is 20 centimeters. I'm going to delete the polygon. I'm going to choose the 2 windows inside the room and I'm going to extract them. This wall is 25 centimeters. And again, I'm deleting the polygons to create the openings. And now we have a room with a floor and walls and openings. Now I'll create the ceiling. I'll choose border, choose the upper border and click cap. This will create the ceiling. I'll choose the ceiling and detach it, calling it ceiling. I will call everything else walls, and I will detach the floor. How will I do that? I will choose the lower polygons and then unchoose the upper from my selection. Now only the floor is selected, and I will go to the detach function and call it floor. Now we have a room with a ceiling, floor, and roof, or ceiling, floor, or walls. And I'll just put a camera inside so you can see how the room will look at the rendering from the perspective point of view. Now you can see I didn't create thickness to the walls. That's because I don't need it, because my camera will be inside the room. I cannot see the other side of the walls. I need to see only the inner walls. So this way it's much cleaner, faster, and cheaper on RAM, because we don't have as many polygons as we would have if we would create the outer walls. We simply don't need the outer walls, we need only planes representing the inner walls. As you can see in the camera, you cannot see the outer walls. And this is our room. Now I can place the camera outside the room and use the clip manual option in order to clip the camera's view. What this does is starts the camera's view after the red line. So I can place the camera outside the room and clip the walls near the camera. This way the room will appear a little bit bigger because the camera is standing outside of it.